Photographers are like bees. While sometimes they might produce sweet things, they do so by annoying you, by buzzing sometimes when their audio equipment goes haywire. Photographers don't use audio equipment. That's one of their major faults, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to help 10 of them if they ask for help.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Canon EOS R, of course, 24mm 1.4. Glimmer glass filter way too high in intensity. A Glimmer 5. Didn't even know they went that high. Window lighting this time, just for the heck of it. I'll switch over to the Lantern of Life soon, and we'll see some differences. I'm going to block that light out. I got a thing. A bag that came with this light. It didn't auto-expose. I'm manually exposing. I'm a professional. If you had X-T3 and 100-400, would you update to the X-T5 or would you upgrade to the 150-600? New body, old lens? Old body, new lens? That last part was unnecessary. I would do neither of those things. Those aren't even good options. Why are you looking at the X-T5? It's not even an upgrade. It's a downgrade in most ways. You already have 4K 60. You're probably good enough. It's the X-T4 that you might consider IBIS. Is it even worthwhile? Probably 100-400 lens stay enough, in slow-mo at least. Maybe. I haven't tested it. The 150-600, it's not the same type of thing. Like 100-400 is their prime wildlife lens. That's their thing. It's pretty fast, 4.5 to 5.6. This new thing is a freaky reach. It's different, and it's a Tony 8. No one needs that much reach. It's already, 400 was enough on APS-C, so be real with yourself. Your upgrade path is nothing. You're waiting for hopefully they make something better, and they probably won't. It was shocking when you said Canon was better. It really sucked. Beyond a 1-inch sensor, stupid footage, pale, dumb, not lively, horrible colors. May I have to change to my specs, otherwise it sucked pretty bad. What the hell did that last sentence mean? I don't know. You're delusional. You've inhaled helium somewhere in your daily routine. I don't know how you managed to do it, but Canon color science cannot be compromised. It is not a... Some people say color is subjective, but not Canon color. That's agreed upon. Every other color is like, oh, yeah, Fuji, kind of cool, vintage. And then another guy would be like, what the hell is that? Just give me some real colors. Gerald Undone would throw up on a Fuji. He'd be like, what is this? He'd be spending hours at night trying to angle the reds back to normal. Mathematicians helping him and his baby losing sleep by the minute. Canon color doesn't have to be accurate to be pleasing or thoughtful or way too orange. It's beautiful. You're stupid. X-T5 or A7C in video autofocus and low light performance. Why are we looking at the X-T5? It's not a release. It's not the thing we want. It's the XH2S you're looking at for Fuji to be disappointed in and wish it was better. The X-T5's not even on the radar. It's a photocentric thing. Why are you bothering me? I should bother you at work. The A7C is so dated because it was dated when it first came out. It was just a copy of the A7 III, but just smaller. You can't bring this 8-bit footage to me, even though 8-bit is all we'd ever need. So you could bring it, but Sony, your color science dissuades 8-bit technology because you have to tweak things and then it falls apart. No, not on my watch. So obviously the A7C probably outshines the X-T5 in a lot of ways. Just if you had it right here, probably better. Better autofocus for sure and low light. It is hard to beat Sony reliability, and that autofocus is dreamy, even their older cameras. It's fantastic. Is that enough? Sometimes it is. But Canon does it well. Nikon does it well. Fuji's just not quite there yet. They're pretty good. In most situations, they will be totally fine, but you're gonna be lost at some point, and that's unfortunate. And their low light's never been right. So, what are you shooting? Anything with those two cameras is gonna suck. Get a real job. Which would you pick for best bang for buck? 60-40 bird wildlife video stills. Nikon Z6 200-500. A7 III 200-6, XH2S 100-400, Canon R6, Tamron, 150 to 600. Oh, what are these options? Oh, oh man. Why? Why are you doing this? What? The Z6 and A7 III are 4K 30p only, and then HD 120. The XH2S is like this beast of a 4K. Oh, I said beast. Oh, I should be killed. Do it. The Fuji's clearly leading that whole industry right there, and you're for gangbangers. And the R6, like, the R6 II fixed all the problems of the R6. That shouldn't be mentioned, and Tamron is not gonna sync stable, you freak. It's not gonna work together. Why aren't you people listening? Third-party lenses are bad. They're probably illegal now. You can't even buy it. So Fuji, 100 to 400, you might have something. Probably not much. What does Sony need to produce to make you leave the A7S III? They've already produced it, and that is a lack of firmware upgrades. So as soon as I see anybody else releasing something with animal eye detect, it's coming. Don't tell me you can't do it. Your cheaper cameras can do it. The fact that you're not bringing it to us while some of us scrub YouTubers are complaining about it, we should be heard. I don't like shouting at clouds and then nothing happens. At least rain on my ass. That's bullshit. But if it was Sony, like an A7 IV, I would have to imagine it would be video-centric for real this time. I don't like this dual native ISO where like everything is terrible leading up to that second one. I ride in auto ISO and it's really annoying to be like super noisy. I get my footage back and it's like, Sony chose 8000 ISO for that, did they? Thanks for not bumping up to the clean one at 12,800. I shouldn't need to upgrade an A7S III for many years. So like, I'm not desperate for 4K 240p. Like that's a dream spec one day. Maybe in the A7S V. Cool, but right now I'm happy. I just want animal eye detect to make my life a little easier. And I probably wouldn't even use it all that often. Just like, oh, acquire that, boom. Sometimes I'm using that. It's really all I need. Better stable would be nice. It's not swaying so much in the wind. If you want to get back in my heart for YouTube life, get me at least some better color science, although orange mode today might not be your preferred. Even though it's Canon color, you do prefer it. You don't even realize your own thoughts. Better color science, better stable would be nice. And just continue on leading the industry. And giving us firmware updates for once. Show us you care. Show us you're not the father who left us at birth. Yeah, because I wasn't good enough. I'm good enough. In some cultures, I could be a respectable kid. Some people would be proud of what I've done. You don't know that they won't be. Don't pretend that adding professional lighting made a difference in your life at all. I have now blocked out the window, at least half of it, awkwardly with a thing that's hanging off my curtains and the lantern of life. Same white balance I kept. I just used the custom white balance from when I did this for the Windows stuff. Was that your question? GH6 is better than Fuji. No, it's not. Laugh. I feel like someone's being blacklisted by Fuji, like Jared. That's a conspiracy and a half. Is it? Is it? Haven't we been over this last week? Why did I save this again? I just wanted to yell at somebody. Panasonic has better stable, better color science subjectively to some. Specs better. Slower slow-mo. 5.7K 60p instead of 6.2K 30p. Yeah. With a 4x3. So when you stretch it, no longer 6K are we? Nah, a lie? Huh? Some would say. Lenses. I don't know, sometimes I wonder if you have better lenses, but like a 12mm 1.4 anyone, that would be nice. And 200mm prime, that can't be matched right now on the Fuji. Except they actually do have a 200mm prime as well. It's much better than that, but it doesn't reach as long on an APS-C loser crop. Bitch. I'm just telling it like it is. I prefer the GH6 over the Fuji. I would not want the Fuji. If someone offered it right now, I would not take it. So it's like better stabe for vlogging is so incredibly better. It's not even funny. And then for wildlife, I'm finding it's just better all around for everything. So there's the odd thing where it's like, I only want nice dynamic range in my boring shot on the beach with a light bulb in the background. If that's your life and you're hoping that somebody walks by in a cinematic fashion, they walked by the light bulb, yes, their head was, I perfectly measured that shot. So there would be blooming highlights as he paused. He paused at the light. Your boring ass movie. 6 people died in it, and I hope one of them was you. Just moving along here. Moseying on along. Question: how do you manage and find your old videos? You often show old clips as references. I can't find my goodies in the dark. So I'm wondering what system you use to name and manage all your videos. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. You have any idea how many videos I've made? I've been on YouTube since 2013 making like daily videos. I have like 2,000 or 3,000 probably. And just like trying to remember, because I'm a moron. Whenever I review something like this light, this small rig light, I did not title it small rig light because I feel like no one cares about that. I'm going to make something like softbox first lantern. Oh my God. Lantern destroys softbox. Something clickbaity like that. And then it doesn't have the title of the thing. So like that Olympus 17mm 1.2 lens, I made a couple videos with it. And I'm like, what video was that? I always forget that one. But it's back there. So sometimes I remember. I organize my files by like times of my life. So like I had before Thailand, all my vegetable police stuff. And then in Thailand, I have a whole series where like I started the camera channel out there. And then I moved in Thailand. So that's a different section. And then now I'm just going by like years. 2019 is all one thing. And hopefully I can remember. Usually I'm pretty good at, if I think of something I want to show it, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that video. And I just search it and hope for the best. But right now I have like 2 16 terabyte USB drives that have everything I own and they're backed up. So I have 2, one could die, then I'll replace it. Hopefully that works. They're not SSDs or anything. They're not fast. If I see that like video, I just search for it and then move it onto my desktop and then edit it. So that takes like 20 seconds or more. So that's what I do. It's not the best way to do it, but that's what I do. How are you doing with DaVinci Resolve? Have you completely transitioned from Adobe? Absolutely, 100%. I love it. In the beginning, it was rough, but DaVinci's been very good to, I think they've fixed everything I've complained about, or you have fixed it. You've fixed my user error. So like it works now. Every little mistake that wasn't, there's only a couple things. I have a couple saved that we'll do a little video on that are like minor nitpicks, but they keep fixing all the problems I had and it's just fantastic. It just works phenomenally. And then the only other programs I was using was Adobe Audition for recording audio, which now, today's audio, brought to you by Audacity. This is the first time I've recorded in Audacity. It's free. Hopefully it worked. We're using the Octava into the thing. I don't know what's going to happen. It might go really bad. And then to make thumbnails, I was using Photoshop. I just bought Affinity Photo 2. I was looking like, what's the best alternative? I tried GIMP. I was like, what the hell is that? Just trying to cut out something from a background. That's what I do a lot. Just little transparent images, and GIMP made that so hard. Whereas Affinity Photo is like just like Photoshop was. So I'm pretty much transitioned to that. So no need for you, Adobe, you losers. It's just the monthly fee. Like, who would ever do that? You're paying monthly, like tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime if you like this product. Whereas DaVinci is a one-time thing. Affinity Photo, one time. Audacity, free. So some things are free, some things are one time, then you move on. I just switched to C-Log. We were in standard. I feel like if I could make this work somehow. This is the superior profile, but I can never make it work. It always looks off. So we're back in neutral instead of EOS originals, because the originals color science for some reason turned my black shirts blue, and I'm not liking that. Was that your question? It's possible. It wasn't. Thanks, GreatFed. Do you think A7C or XT5 is better? Didn't I just answer that? Wow, that's on me. That's on me. What if I give a different answer? I prefer the XT5. Why is everyone looking at the XT5? It's a photo thing. You photographers infiltrating my world? You know I make video, right? Is there any confusion? Since day one, I've been video-centric. Not once have I veered off any paths. If it was me, I'm looking at this. You could probably find the A7C for much cheaper. You just have to put up with tomato red face. It's a bunch of bullshit. All right, last question. Having an 8.3 megapixel sensor is impossible unless they made a 16:9 sensor. Is that right? Sensors are 3:2 for photo, then 16:9 video is cropped from that. That's why A7S III has 12 megapixels sensor. Mr. Math over here. Also, if your sensor only has enough photo sites for a 4K video, you eliminate the possibility of digital stability, as well as focus breathing correction. So yeah, 8.3 megapixel sensor is never going to happen unless a company comes out with 16:9 aspect ratio for video use only, and you would have no digital stabilization or focus breathing. So the camera would be more cine focused and not run and gun. Stop ruining my life with facts, all right, asshole? I had a dream. 8.3 megapixels, low, high dynamic range, best sensor in the business, and it would be 16:9 for video. That's what I want. I don't need it to be photocentric. If you want photos, you crop in my video center. 16:9, okay, I'll take a photo from this crop of my video centric sensor. Piece of hunking shit. The Canon C100s, 8.9 megapixels or something. I think that's a 16:9 sensor in there, designed for video. That's what I want. Nobody's doing it. Not even close. We're coming up with like micro four thirds cameras with 25 megapixels. Are you kidding yourself? GH6, boy, I'm looking at you. Why is your SD card slot open, you piece of shit? Where's your lens cap? I'm overexposed by almost 2 stops. Is that noticeable to you? I'm gonna change it down to 2%. Oh God, 3%. Now I'm only 1 stop over. Did that matter? I doubt it. So yeah, I stand by. The digital stay might be an issue with that, but then we crop in. Oh no, my 4K got a little crop. That happens sometimes. But if you started off with an 8.3 megapixel, you'd be up ahead of the game. It would be so fast to read out with that little amount of megapixels. So we stand by what we said and demanded. I'm gonna go home. We learned stuff, mostly you learning from me, the expert. And did you notice things that were good today? Did you prefer the window lighting for some reason? I regret doing that immediately. It looked pretty dark and orange, but that's fine. And the lantern of life has blessed us once more. And did audio sound good from Audacity? Affiliate links. You know where to click.